starting. Hello, everyone. It's Maya, and this is our second mentorship program for today. And I'm happy to be already part of the management group last 3 years. And this program, who does not know, Global Mentorship Program, just established when I was an applicant, and it was a first generation during that time, and I had a pleasure of experiencing this kind of project. And to be honest, if it's not this program, I don't know if I could be able to be a Chevening scholar, because I remember that Chevening alumni, how supportive they have been, how motivating they have made this kind of presentation or inside a chat. They always supporting us and make us believe ourselves. So before we officially start to sharing and start our presentation for today, I want you to ask everyone who is not speaking, just mute themselves to make the quiet session for everyone and to be possible for everyone to hear. And yeah, I mean, welcome. And who has been yesterday to our first session? It's just like again the second chance for you to listen three outstanding Chevening scholars and fellow Cheveners to share their experience for the interview. And I hope that it's gonna be helpful. So let me right now share the screen. And sorry, sometimes we might have a convenient accident while I'm sharing the screen because, yes, can the speaker just confirm that you see, guys, the screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, great. So I want to welcome you to meet three of outstanding Chevening scholars. And first of all, I wanted to say huge thank for each of you guys to find the time to be presenting for today and sharing your interview experience. And I know we have our own struggle, our own stuff to do, and find the time to be volunteer after being a Chevening scholar or while you're a Chevening scholar. It's a huge dedication, and thank you so much for you. And briefly, guys, you can go and introduce yourself. Iyala, you can start, please, and then girls, go ahead.
Sure, my
Where are you
pleasure.
from,
Thank
and
you.
which year are you? Which year scholar are you?
Of course. Can you hear my voice? Is it clear? Yes, perfect. It's my pleasure. My name is Iyala Saadi. I am from Syria. I am now a Chevener alumni because I completed my master and I graduated in January. So I returned back home to Syria. I'm so happy to reconnect with all of you and with the new potential generation of Cheveners. You have made it so far. So congratulations all. And hopefully this session will be useful for all of you. Thank you. Over.
Thank you. Dima, go ahead, please.
Okay. Sorry.
My name is Dima. I'm from Jordan. I recently I'm a Chevening scholar. This opportunity to motivate you to achieve this stage that all Chevening applicants reach. And I hope you will get benefit from our notes and tips to achieve the interview.
Thank you, Dima. Yarita, go ahead, please.
Hi everyone. I am so glad that you be here. I met Maya the last year because I was applying to Chevening scholarship, and currently I am a Chevening scholar from Bolivia. So things can change in a year, and now I am so glad to be here to guide you and give some advice for your next journey.
Thank you so much, Yarita. So I just want to mention before we officially start that for me it's a huge pleasure of seeing a Chevening fellow Cheveners or Chevening alumni who has been part of the Chevening mentorship, because it's feel like, I don't know, like enjoying the process to see how other people became a Chevening scholar. And once I remembered that when I was a speaker uh, for a Chevening session, uh, I met around 137 people who has been part of the Chevening mentorship, and it was a great pleasure to see how you shining and became a Chevening scholar. So good luck. Enjoy the session for today. And I will just moderate for today. And this outstanding three Chevening alumni and fellow Cheveners will continue to share their experience. So let's move, and I will mute myself.
Can I start because I'm fasting, and after 10 minutes uh, I will go to because we have Ramadan.
Yes, sure, Dima, no problem. Yarita, if it's possible, please go ahead. You can start. Floor is for you, and then next gonna come Dima.
Okay, perfect. Well, that is my advice is basically based on my personal experience, because something that I would like to say you is that everyone have his own experience. Don't try to compare it with another person, because everyone is different. That is important to take care. Okay. Other thing, congratulations, because if you are getting in this step is a great thing, because now you need to be prepared and you can do it. Okay. So the first step I recommend is the essays. Okay. Because your essays are the foundation of your interview. Review them carefully. Okay. Ensure consistency between that you wrote and how you present yourself in the same sense. If you have to adjust something, you can do it, but always it has to be connect with your original essay that you sent for the application. Okay. Uh, be ready to expand on your leadership experience and career goals. Okay, that is important. The next thing is show how you are. It's important that you show your personality and your authenticity, because that is something important for Chevening. Is diversity is one of the values that they pursue. So for them, it's important to know more about yourself and more than technically, because it's important. You can be in different stage, and you have to develop your personality in different stage. Okay. After that, I recommend research. Read Chevening values, again, connect with you, with your essays, research for some information more that you need, and apply the STAR method. It's the best thing to summarize your ideas and present to the panel that is going to interview you. So after that, keep calm and clear and simple. That is important. Try to understand that it is important. Of course, you have to be prepared, but also is try to be like a friend conversation. It's more about that, because I know nervous can be hard. Of course, I was like that, and some technique that I can advise is before to go to the interview, you can say, "Okay, I have the control. That is my moment to shine and say why I deserve this scholarship." Okay, so that is my advice. I hope that you can do it. My best wish, my best for you.
Thank you so much, Yarita. Before
Okay,
Dima
I
come back,
can.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
I'm
come
back. I'm
already,
back.
Dima? Okay, great.
Yeah,
So go ahead, please.
yeah. Uh,
And when you need to change the
uh,
slide, just let me know.
okay. I want to start to introduce some interview tips. First of all, you must be confident because the interview relies on self-confidence, and the other way you need to market yourself to the panelists. When you enter the interview at the beginning, you must grade them and sit in the upright position because the body language is important in the interview. Also, you must thank them about giving you the opportunity to attend the interview. If you have any project or any that you did by handmade or any business card, you can bring it because during my interview, I bring my business card that's related to my project and I give it to the panelists and they impressed about my business card that related to my project. So this is that give the panelist impression that you are thinking out of the box and start to introduce yourself about within 2 minutes and try to practice to for each part when you are practice within 2 to 3 minutes because the panelists that there's you have to practice in the time management because sometimes if you exceed the time the panelists will stop you and when you introduce yourself try to introduce yourself in a way different than traditional by telling them about your name and your background in the bachelor's degree and mention why you choose this course and then move to the experience, not just mention your experience and the year but mention what you did during the experience. For example, when I say to them, I worked for 5 years with one of the international medical corps NGO for the mental health, I mentioned that I did an impressive changing in the stigma that related to the mental health. So mention something that related to the leadership in your experience. Then move and mention why you chose this master course. And in this way, you introduce yourself in different way. Then read your essay. Read every details in your essay because they will ask you in everything, and you must don't lie because sometimes they ask you about any organization or company. You mention in your essay how you did collaboration and you mustn't mention any abbreviation because the panelists they did not know anything about ourselves or our organization or our community, so you mustn't mention any abbreviation. So if you say I worked with uh, IMC, for example, they did not know what IMC, so you must mention all the names and what and also after you practice about your essay, then you must practice about the common question they ask. Why you choose Chevening? Why UK? And you must focus in the career plan. And the most important thing, you should connect your course with career plan. For example, if you said I want my short-term plan to do research for something, you can say I choose this course because there is a researcher and or there's a researcher center or there's a professor that can assist me to achieve my short-term plan that related to my research. Also, uh, okay. Okay. Also, you must sometimes they ask you about unexpected question like what's the main challenge you will face during the leadership? What's the main challenge you during the network, or what's the challenge you will face during you are in the UK? So you must practice about these questions and you must open the website of the Chevening to know any events or any activities or any clubs that the Chevening do, that assist you when you answer why you choose Chevening, because you can say on for example on the April the Chevening the Chevening have certain club that I hope to attend. So I choose to be in I chose Chevening. Furthermore, be yourself, be honest, and be confident. And the panelists, they are cute, and they want to know. They want to know you, and let's the conversation between you and the panelist, and try not to memorize because they know your body language. Okay, that's all my notes from me.
Dima, do you need me to change the slide?
Oh, okay. It's, uh, and when you go to the leadership, you must mention in the leadership if you have any numbers or any percentage, or you must mention because they focus in the number. They focus in the number. They focus in the number. Also, you must mention if you have any leadership example. You should practice about it, and you should practice about the main. You should choose the main example. You can they can express yourself. You did not mention three or two examples of the leadership during the interview. So this is all my notes for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dima. And let's move to our last speaker. I want to mention that she also has been part of the Chevening Mentorship last year. And thank you so much, Yela. I know that you are busy today, but you still make it. So thank you so much. And floor is for you. Go ahead, please.
Sure, dear. As I say always, it's my pleasure as you supported us before. We are here. It's our turn every year to support the new generation. I'm so happy to be here again. I'm Iyala Saadi. I have completed a Master of Arts in Gender Violence and Conflict from the University of Sussex, and I returned back home. So I would like to share some of my humble experience. I hope to not share too much information. If I did, please notify me. So yes, I would like to share some feedback. 1 minute, sorry, it's too noisy, sorry. Sorry again. Okay, so for the pre-interview preparation stage, first, the first step is reviewing your essays, as my fellows shared with you. Why? Because remember, your essays are one of the key reasons why you have been shortlisted for the interview. So of course, your essays are strong. That's why you're here now. However, you need to revisit thoroughly your essays again and again, just like remember every word, every information that you have stated in your essays. Because the whole, like the central, I mean, your application will be the central to the interview discussion. They will not ask you something out of your essays information. Everything you stated, they will ask you about this information. You only need to elaborate and explain further. We will speak in details. So why you need also to review your essays, because you need to ensure you're prepared interview responses that they are in line with your essays. They don't want to hear something very new or everything new. They want to build upon your essays. And also, it's okay and be prepared to share any updates, because there is a gap time between the time that you submitted your application and the time that they are interviewing you. So be prepared to share any development related to your experience or goals since submitting your application. Second, elaborate on your examples. This is really important. You have already shared some examples within your essays, but of course you couldn't share everything because it's only 500 words per essay. So it's so important that you prepare how you can expand your example, what key things that you need to highlight that shows your strengths, because you cannot share also everything during the interview. It's also limited time. So just pick off the key things that shows your strengths, following the STAR approach. What else regarding that? Also, they like we always say, do we need to ask or let's say share new examples, or stick with the examples that they already stated in our essays? Personally, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. It depends how strong your examples are. If the examples that you stated in your essays are strong enough, personally, I recommend to stick with your examples, because they have chosen you, I think, based on your essays, including the examples. So expand further. But if you feel like you have new stories to tell as examples, you can share them. It's all right. There is no wrong. I have fellows that they have shared new examples and they were selected, and fellows that they shared the same examples, stick with the same examples, and they were selected. Personally, I stick with the same examples because I feel like they were quite enough and strong. What else? Regarding also, the third one, practice your English. So it's so important, of course, you are practicing it. The proficiency is really important, but the accent, I believe, is not important. So if you don't have the American or the British accent is not important, guys. Just you need to explain yourself clearly and confidently, and that's enough. And as also my fellow said, you don't have to choose very complex and academic words or terminology. That's not a requirement, and you don't have to just choose a very simple words that just clarify what you want to say. That's all what it's required from you. What else? Research extensively. Research not only about your field about your chosen field, because you already, I think, you have done that from the very first phase, but also about the UK, about the country, about the culture, about everything in the UK. Research about it, because they might ask you what else you want to do during your study in the UK, because of course you will not spend 24 hours or the whole year studying. They want you to integrate with the community there and to learn also from all the diversity and the cultural experiences there. So they want you to involve in the activities and travel within the UK. So you have to know actually at least the minimum of your favorite, let's say, series, things you want to do, visit museums, watch concerts, I don't know, sport games, anything. It depends on your hobbies. Yes, on your interest. So you need to prepare also some examples what you want to do beside your study. I have chosen really good one, and I think one of the key reasons why they selected me because it was the answer of this question: what do you want to do beside your study? So be smart about this. What else? Why UK? Of course, you have to explain clear reasons of choosing the UK master's program, why you think studying master program in the UK is the ideal scenario for you, among many others also great options in Europe or in the United States. They might also ask you why the UK, because also it's one of the essays, right? So you need to elaborate why you want to choose this. So you need to research about, you need to be familiar about the UK academia, because it's really unique actually, and it's really important to know why you have chosen this. Maybe you can compare it with your own education system in your home country. What are the gaps that you have it in your home country that the UK can really fulfill these needs, and so forth. So always share examples, not to be in general. What else? Mock interviews. So mock interviews, dears, please do it. Don't go to the interviews before doing mock interviews. Personally, I did 4 mock interviews with different people, and they were the reason why I was really well prepared for. They were the reason why I was very well prepared for the interview, because I prepared myself. The ones that they interview me, they asked me a lot of questions that I didn't think about it. They gave me really crucial and critical feedback that I have learned so much from their feedback. So I reached to the actual interview, and I felt it was really easy. And I felt it was really easy because I already done 4 interviews, and I feel like they were way more difficult than the actual one, because maybe I was well prepared because of those mock interviews. So please do it. There are really many platforms they provide these mock interview. Maybe also Maya can emphasize on this. Her platform can also provide this, and many other as well. So yeah, please do it. Okay, so during the time of the interview, this is only specific for the countries that they invite you for online interviews. The country that they have conflict or post-conflict settings, such as Syria, we were invited for online interview. So please just select a quiet environment. Do not have noises, as I do have today. So yeah, you can continue focusing on the interview and not have any interruption. Also regarding the camera, please check your camera, because if there was any technical issue with your camera and they couldn't see you, so this is actually could be very negative point, because they want to check, they want to verify your personality. Is this the same person who we have their ID, their passport, the picture and everything? They want to verify. So you need to show yourself. So they need the camera. This is so important. What else? This is okay. Now we are, I hope that I didn't share much. The last stage, which is during the interview. Remember that the panel interviewer, they want you to succeed. So they're not investigate, and they don't want to make you fail. Okay, this is traditional or stereotype, or I don't know, but this is not true. In the Chevening, they are so friendly. They create very calm, relaxing time. So they keep smiling to you. They might give you some positive feedback. So if they did not, that doesn't mean you didn't give good answers, but they trying to give positive feedback to your responses. Also, yeah, this is your time to shine. So, yeah, so please be authentic, be yourself, because Chevening, they care about the leadership personality of the person. It's not, I mean, of course, your experience, your studying, your smartness is so important, but also your personality, your communication skills is maybe more important. What's your academy or experience? So it's really important to show your personality. So be yourself. It's okay to give maybe a joke, or like smile and laugh and like be yourself, you know. So it's all right. They love that, and I have heard a lot of great and funny stories from my fellows that have been selected about the things that happened during the interview panel. They were laughing, they were happy about those stories that my fellows shared. So it's okay if you have sense of humor, show it. Also the passion. So it's so important to show that you're so passionate about the scholarship, Chevening scholarship. You're not only a nerd person, you want to study and have a certificate. No, show your personality, show how passionate you want this. And this is also, maybe it could show during the career plan, the short, midterm, long-term plan. Your passion features could be appeared in that part of the interview. Before the last point, ask for clarification. For example, if you didn't understand the question or was not clear because of the internet or any other reason, maybe the accent, it's all right. You can say, sorry, can you come again? Can you elaborate more? So it's all right to ask, okay? And finally, prepare questions. It's so important that you have to show to the interview panel that you have searched about the Chevening scholarship and you are interested to know more what's next if you were selected, for example. So do some research, prepare 1 to 2 questions to ask at the end of the interview, because they would ask you, do you have any questions? And remember, this is not a job interview. It's really different from the job interview. The job interview, it's more formal, it's more serious. They have sometimes joker face in the job interview, but here in the Chevening program interviews, it's really different. You feel like you're interviewing maybe your fellows, your peers. So that's, just keep it in mind. Don't stress much about that. Just be well prepared and everything will go very smoothly. That's all from my side. If you have any question, I'm ready to share. Thank you. Over.
Thank you so much. Every time I listen the fellow Cheveners or Chevening alumni, I'm envy to listen them. And like every time they mention some new stuff, for instance, the Iyala was the first person who mentioned about the question. And thank you so much for that, because yesterday we forget to mention about it. And yeah, I mean, you are guys outstanding, and thank you so much for your question, for your time, sorry. And we move to the question time. I will just stop sharing because it's super uncomfortable when I'm pressing to add some new people. And it's showing me that everything on my screen. So, yeah, let's move your favorite time. I know you are also excited to listen new experience, but you're more excited to ask question, and this is your opportunity. And in my list, first person is Ivan Ramiro. Please go ahead and mention the speaker as well.
Thanks, Maya, and thanks everyone for this opportunity. I would like to ask about for both about um, um when 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 they ask about theory, for example, I don't know um, what what is leadership for you, or what is a kind of bad leadership or good leadership. The I I I might to add an example of my leadership there, or only answer the question in a theory in a theory way.
Else, can you?
Uh, if they ask you about what leadership mean to you, you must answer the meaning of the leadership. But the question that related about your example for the leadership, they ask you, give me an example from your life or from your experience or from your work that you are a leader. They ask you in this is the question that I received during my interview. They asked me what leadership mean to you, and I definition the meaning of the leader according to what I mentioned in my essays, and they asked me give me an example that for your leadership in your life and in your experience or in your life or in your experience. So if they ask you what the leadership mean to you, you from from my experience, you must mention the meaning of the leadership, and mention as you mentioned in your essay. Also, there's something I forget to mention for you. Sometimes they ask you during the interview question, what's your plan if you are not selected for the Chevening? So you must prepare for this question. You must have a plan B for if you are not selected for the Chevening. So this is the question trick as a tricky question.
Thank you so much. Serap, you're the next one in my list. Go ahead, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for today's session. It was very inspiring. Maya, I have a question to you. Yesterday, you mentioned about yes, during the yesterday's session, you mentioned about the interview panel. So I don't know whether I understood it correctly, but I wanted to make sure. That's why I wanted to ask you again. Will there be the same panelist as last year, this year? Because I was also attending last year's interview and I wasn't selected. So I was a bit worried about that after you mentioned that, because I stressed out that if I couldn't express impress them last year, will it be possible for me to impress them this year? Like, of course, I changed the style of mine, but still, I wanted to hear more about this. Thank you.
You are so cute. Thank you so much. So every year panelist is changing, but there is possibility that someone come and it's possible because for instance I have been also invited for this year as a panelist. I was not able to attend, but last year I was, so it's mean that if someone will come to my session and I will be there, trust me that it's not that we all remember all details. It's just more about this course. So I believe that you already reached second time to the interview stage, and you are outstanding. Just reflect yourself where you had a gap, and ask yourself to improve this gap. No worry about it. Don't stress yourself for these small details. If they remember you and recognize you, that's good. You can make fun. We met again each other or something like that. So Just don't stress yourself. Yaila, do you want to add anything? Because I see you how you react during my speech. So go ahead, please.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Actually, I cannot add any more inputs. Really, if as Maya said, if they remember you, that's really good thing. That's like you were like unique person that they remember you. So be happy if they remember you, and yeah, you just continue with who you are and continue be passionate and show your excitement. Don't show that you might be disappointed that you were not chosen at all. Show that I will not give up. I'm here again, and I will be here again until I make it. So, and yes, they will not remember actually the answers. Trust me, they won't. So don't worry.
Thank you a lot.
Thank
That
you.
was really helpful. I'm
I
feeling
want
better.
to
Thank
say
you, guys.
I want to say
Yeah,
something.
go ahead, Dima. Yeah.
During my second interview, the panelists they said to me, "You did an interview in the last year." I said to them, "Yes." And one of the panelists, she remembered me. So don't worry.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. Uh, Aray or RH, I don't know how to read your name. Sorry. Go ahead, please.
First of all, thank you for this session. My question is that when the interviewer asks us any question, they give us time to think about it, or it give bad impression on it, because we are not like my native language is not English, so I have to think about the answer, and I like you can say it's a little bit difficult to give answer just in a 1 second. So it give a bad impression on them to think about the answer or not.
Uh, okay, if I can answer this, uh, for sure not. You will not give them a negative impression. It's all right. Sometimes they tell you, it's all right, take your time and then answer. So please, yes, don't be stressful about it. Take your time, reflect about the question, and then answer. So they are very aware about the whole situation, and they know that they have to give time to each applicant to to reflect and to express themselves, as English to most of us is not our first, even second. So they know that, they are aware of that, and they give you time and space to reflect. So don't worry at all.
Thank you. Meeting guest. I don't know who you are, but please go ahead. It's MG written, the meeting guest. Okay, we can move the next one. The tango. Go ahead, please.
Hello. So it's nice to meet you again. And thanks to the new advisor that also I'm very thankful and grateful that your advice and your tips are very valuable for us. So my question is about the question itself, or why the UK? So should we answer like general ideas why the UK beyond academic purposes, but also should we follow this question with our university choices and course choices, or just we can focus on some general ideas? What is your recommendation about this question?
Yela, can you
Uh,
answer,
okay.
please?
Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying to remember. It has been a while, maybe 2 years, right, since the interview. I'm trying to remember. I think, please, my fellows also can share and confirm. So for this answer, I think it's all right to start with the let's say, information why UK, like what makes UK unique, what's unique from other environments in Europe, or for example, so you can make some research, you can take some evidence or statistics, you can do that, like some general, it's all right, but as much as you can give examples, it's really important. Not only about the education. Yeah, about the university, maybe your chosen field or university chosen that you choose, which is ranked first ranked in Europe, for example, or in the UK. Maybe it's the best university in your chosen field, let's say, or like you can make some research about the university, about your chosen field, about your city that you choose as well, about general information about the UK. So yeah, it's so important that they feel like you did some research, that you didn't choose randomly the university or you choose in field or UK because just it has a scholarship program. Of course, UK, it's so unique and it has a lot of things, but you need to search to know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Others.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
And I might also add some little detail, like when it's come to why the UK, based on my experience, that they are not asking you this general question, why UK? They are mostly specified, like, why do you choose this particular university? Or why do you want to study in the UK? So, which means that if they ask you, why do you want to study in the UK? You like it, my answer was like that I structured it. I started why I have chosen first university, then also at the end, when I explain academically why I have chosen this particular university, that I have add like the University of Glasgow look like Hogwarts, so I'm the Potterhead, so this also is very important for me to explore the city where the because the Scotland is the place where the Harry Potter idea was born. So I was like, I'm so excited to bring my broomstick and travel all the places that's been published in the movie. So they laugh after I I said this. So it was a great feeling. Not focus only academical stuff. Also mention some little details are very important for you as a person. If there is some hobby, or maybe you want to go to Manchester United football match, also you can mention this. So mostly guys are mentioning about football.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And next person in the list is Ventura. Please go ahead. We did not hear you. Unmute yourself and go ahead, please. Ventura, you're in my list. Okay, next person is Muhammad Haji. Go ahead, please. You guys hear my voice, right?
Yes, Maya, I can hear you. Thank you very much for you and the other mentors for the priceless support and presentation. So my question is with regards to maybe if at all you are asked, talk about your past and where you come from, how maybe you landed here, whether it's virtual or it's the interview is just face to face. So what do you think, or we could see? Thank you.
Sorry, if I understand correctly, may I clarify the question? So your question, your interview is face to face. And if the question will be about how you come here, or like, I just don't get it. Sorry. Could you please just repeat briefly?
Okay. Okay, assume I'm going to the interview tomorrow. So whether it's virtual or face to face, I'm asked, Muhammad, kindly talk about your past and how you come here, or where you come from. How did you land here, or how did you landed here also? Uh, so I'm also thinking of maybe what to answer is, yeah, what to maybe respond in case such questions come. Talking about your past, where you come from, and how you landed here. It's just one question in three again.
Yeah. Thank you. I get it. Dima, Iyala, do you want to answer?
He said the question is how he came to the interview and what he did in the past. That I understand. Yes.
Yeah, it was the question. Yes. I mean, I don't know if the Muhammad mean about his experience in general or in the location way, but as I got it correctly, I think he means that his experience, like what he's past in general, like as a
Okay.
leader.
Okay, okay, that's why where I was coming from. If I'm asking your past, will I talk of my experience, or for example, mention the field of my field of study, or where I come from? You know, I was a bit confused. That's why I raised the question. So your advice.
Do you mean about the introduction question when they ask, like, talk about yourself or introduce yourself? Are you talking about this question or not?
Okay,
Are you referring to this?
it could be like the introduction, but maybe if I must, hi Maya, how are you? Kindly talk about your past. So your past can be your experience. With regards to your experience, then sometimes your past can also mean something else than where you come from. So when I'm talking about where I come from, do I mention my locality, my province, go deep into where I come from, then how I also come here, how I also landed here. So maybe I had such thought in my mind. It was just roofing around, and I said, "Why can't you relieve yourself?"
Okay. When they ask you about your experience and the challenge you have when you come to the interview because you come from the poverty area, that's you mean? You can mention that as a challenge that you faces, but you overcome this challenge and you can came to the interview. This is I and if they ask you about your about your experience, you must mention your experience and what you did during the experience as a leader. As a leader, and if there's any challenge you faces during your experience, you must mention you must mention. You cannot go in deep details in the introduction because there's a time limit. As I mentioned, the introduction it's just 2 minutes. So you must mention your name, your back, your experience, and why you choose this course, and you can add extra note that I came here and I faces many challenge, but I can overcome this challenge to arrive and to represent my country and my poverty area to the UK. That's what I understand from your questions.
I just add a little comment. So, Muhammad, if you don't get it question or if you're confused what they really mean, as Yaila mentioned in her presentation time, just ask the clarification. Do you mean like where I'm coming from, or for instance about this question, or do you mean like my experience based on leadership or based on networking? The clarification is the key question, right? Key point. That's why we also asked you a lot of questions to make sure that we cover your question. So I personally recommend you to ask them question if you don't get it or if you're confused given what they mean. So that's my advice. But Suk, go ahead, please.
Hello, can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. Thank you for the precedence. So my question is, I have already chosen the three courses, but I haven't been received any response from the universities until maybe my interview. So at that time, I'm worried about this situation more than my interview. So do you have any comments and feedbacks, any experience for that? Yeah, thank you.
I can share mine, but please, Dima and my other fellow can't share theirs. They are more new than me. So from my experience, I remember when I was in the interview, I only got one, what do you call it? One unconditional offer, I think. No, one conditional offer from the first, what do you call it? The first university, Sussex. So I got a conditional offer, and so I didn't got unconditional offer from it, or I didn't got any offer from the second university. So it's all right if you are sure about your university, you don't want to change them, and you don't have any problem if the first university didn't give you an offer until July. 13th of July, maybe, and you're sure about the second university, so it's all right, because you have time. You have time until 13th of July to receive unconditional offer from one of the three universities. So by the time of the interview, it's all right that you don't receive any offer. I think so. My fellows can confirm on that. But you have to receive unconditional offer by 13th of July. This is after, if you got selected, you need to receive unconditional offer, at least one from the three universities. Please, dears, can confirm and share more.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
During my interview, I didn't receive any unconditional offer. I have just one unconditional offer. But if you want, they ask you during the interview if you want to change the university or to change the university or the order for the university, because most of the time they take the first university. So if you want to change the university, you should have a good justification. You should have a good justification that's related why you want to change the university, because your essay and your courses that related that what you mentioned in the essay. So you must have a good justification that related why you change the university. So don't worry if you didn't have any unconditional offer, but you must work on it, because if work on to get the unconditional offer before the July.
Yeah, I think my colleague already mentioned I don't have any different experience. I had my unconditional offer, and I mean, it's not necessary to having the conditional or unconditional offer during the interview. As Yaila mentioned, you need it until certain of time. It's July, as I remember correctly. So, and next person in the list is Hasti. Go ahead, please.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm Hasti, an Iranian applicant. First of all, I would like to thank dear Maya for her support and dear Iyala for her valuable insight. I have two questions. The first one, I have slightly adjusted my future goals because my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer in the past 3 months. In my essay, in my career plan essay, I originally wrote that I want to work on herbal medicines, but now I want to focus on herbal medicines that can help reduce the side effect of chemotherapy. Would this change in my goals create any issues? Additionally, the universities I have chosen and the courses I have taken are completely aligned with my goals. And can I ask my second question or we go through the answer? Okay, I go to my second question. Is it possible to create a WhatsApp group or any kind of group so that we can practice mock interview in pairs?
I will answer a second one. Hasti, as you registered just today because Iraq announced the Iraq got the answer just today. I will add you briefly, very quickly, end of the day in the WhatsApp group we already have, and you will have chance to have mock-up interview or practice with your
Thanks a lot.
like mates. So I will make sure that you are in that group.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Iyala, do you want to answer the first question, please?
Sure. Yeah. First, really sorry to hear about your mom. We wish her a quick recovery. So your question was if it's possible to change the goals of why you want to study this chosen field. Is this correct?
Yes, I want to change my goals, but not any change, a little change. In my career plan essay, I have wrote that I want to focus on herbal medicine, but now I really want to focus on herbal medicine to reduce the side effect of chemotherapy because of the journey I have in this 3 month.
Yeah. I think personally, I think there is no issue. You didn't change the core of the whole plan or the whole plan, let's say, or objective. It's still within the scope, still within you know type of your education. So yeah, I think personally, I don't think there is any issue with that. No, it's when you share a personal story, they will be influenced more and they will remember you more. And it's very, it's very moral, humanitarian thing to share this and to do this. So yes, you can. What do you
Thanks a
think,
lot.
Maya?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So I don't add more comment about it. And I think it's our last question. I don't know that Sarah, Ivan, you already guys has been asked the question. I don't know if you left the hand raised or you have a new question, but I will choose the person who has not been so far, which is Hedaitul. Ehsan, I don't know if I pronounce
Yes,
your
yes,
name
it's me,
correctly.
Hidayatullah Ihsan.
Go ahead,
First
please.
of all, thank you so much for choosing me. I was not able to ask my question yesterday uh, because of Ramadan and Iftar. So, first of all, thank you. My question is about I have included all the informations and details in my thesis, but I think I need to support while interviewing. To give another example, is it possible or not? Which means a different example, which is related to the details of my thesis. Is it possible or not? This is my first question. And the second one is, as I earned email that the duration of interview will be only 30 minutes, but some of the alumni told me that it is different. Some of them mentioned that the duration of their interview was about 20 minutes or 40 minutes. So if I use the STAR technique, is it possible to include all the story, all the informations? Is it possible to cover all the questions, or will I miss some questions? So I need to know about these two questions. Thank you. Do you have my voice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We-
As sorry, as Layla said, you didn't need to mention a new example. You can update your example if you, because you submit the essays on November and your interview in the let's say in March. So you can make an update. They choose you according to the example you mentioned in your essay. So you don't need to mention a new example. You can update your example. For example, if you did an initiative and the number of people get benefit from it on the November 20 people, you can mention the number of people who get benefit that increase to 50. So from my experience and from other children who choose a new example not mentioned in the essay, they did not pass the interview. And according to the time for the interview, the time is enough. And from my experience, the interview takes just 22 minutes, and I mention everything that I need. During the interview, the panelists said to me, "You must be proud of yourself." So they get, as the Layla said, they give you a positive comment about your interview. So the time is enough, and you can mention everything, but you should practice about the time management. Take your phone and make a video, record and do the record for your interview. So by the time you and by the practice, you can mention everything within 20 to 25 minutes. So that's all. So that's my from my point of view.
Thank you. I just want to add little comment. Yala, you also want to say something, right? As I
Yeah,
have
sure.
seen.
After you. After you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, and again, I just want to start my speech with mentioning that we are sharing our personal experience, and each of us has different experience. I just want to, I have a different experience than Dima mentioned. I have added new example on my interview, and I have been selected. So totally, it's not about you stick on your previous experience on your essay, or you choose new experience to share. What's matter is that you have to present your best version on the interview, and you have to emphasize your leadership skills. You have to be focused on how you solve the problem, for instance, or how you manage to have these results that or outcomes that make a positive impact for someone else, for community, for your team, or for in your field. So I personally think nothing is wrong to mention new example as far as you emphasize the leadership skills that you have mentioned in your essay. So just reflect yourself and choose the example that present yourself, either it is new or old that you mentioned in the essay. Emphasize your leadership skill and shows you as you are outstanding future leader, that you are coming back to their country and make the positive impact. Yela, go ahead. I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I was saying, actually, I was trying to say the same thing as you said. So I will pass this. I will go to the second question that he mentioned. So the time of the interview is not a criteria, dear. Whether it was 20, 25 minutes, 30, 40 is not a criteria. For mine was.
Yeah, I think Iyala has an internet connection problem.
Yeah.
If she coming back, she will definitely mention about it. So let's move for the next person. And I have seen that some of you guys have new questions. So Ventura, please go ahead.
Hi, good evening. First of all, thank you for this section. I have two questions. The first one is regarded to the number of examples per question. Suppose if they ask us to talk about leadership examples, what do you think? How much? How many? I mean, examples should we provide? And the second one, which I think it's connected to this question, is regarded to the length of the questions. In average, how much time should we spend answering a question? Thank you.
Dima,
Okay.
go ahead.
From my experience on the leadership, I mention one example because on each example there's a follow-up questions. So in each question they ask you one example, and they ask you a follow-up questions according to what you mentioned in your example, and the time for each question I think from 3 to 4 minutes, because you maximum 4 minutes for each part for the leadership, for the networking. And during the interview they said, now let's start asking about the leadership. Then they mentioned, we are asking in the leadership, we will move to the networking, we will move to the YUK according to my interview. I mentioned one example, and they asked me in each example 2 follow-up questions, but other colleagues they asked them 3 and 4 questions. If you mention your example in the clear way, and you mention every detail in your example, they did not ask you many follow-up questions. I mean follow-up question, the question that related to your example. So and each example they need with 3 to 4 minutes. That's from my experience.
Thank you so much, Dima. Yeah, I mean, personally, I had opportunity to present 2 example for each question. But when I finish one example, I ask them if there is a time left. I want to share new experience that I have not mentioned in my essay, and it's happening during the time that I have wrote my essay and until that interview time. So they allow me to present both time, the answer that I had, the example, and totally my interview was about 35 minutes. So and about the second question, I agree, so I don't have any comment. And I just wanted to emphasize that it's very individual, that all kind of experience in the interview, because some people, as my colleague already mentioned, has interview 40 minutes, some people 15 minutes, and both of the case was like successfully at the end. So you never know, it's depending on the process and how you answer the question. So in my cases, I have not gotten any follow-up question. That's why maybe I had enough time to present the both example. So, and I used the STAR approach, like situation, task, action, result. So since I covered all of the abbreviation, there was not any question left. So they did not ask me anything. And then I used this chance to present my second example. A, you have raised your hand.
Sorry.
Do you have
Sorry.
more questions?
One more question, just to close. I saw that someone asked here on the chat if it is a good idea to mention that you were a reserved candidate. I asked that because last year I was a reserved candidate, so I would like to know how you mention that and what is your opinion in regard to this matter?
Unfortunately, I don't have experience personally about it. I have chosen for Chevening for the first time that I applied. If my colleague has this kind of experience, please share your experience.
No, I don't have this experience. I have been chosen from the first time. Yeah, I have been reserved, but my colleague have been reserved and then been chosen. So that's different from each year, each country, from the candidate that been chosen. Some of them they did not get the visa, some they did not get unconditional offer, so they apologize to attend the evening. So the reservation depend on each country and each candidate, and it's yeah, we cannot give you an expectation about the reservation.
Yeah, can I also share my
Oh,
opinion?
Iyala, you're here. Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
please.
sorry, my internet
It's okay.
dropped it.
Go ahead, please.
So yeah,
Thank you.
personally, thank you, of course. Personally, I also didn't face it, or I didn't hear from any other fellows that they share any experience related to that. However, my personal opinion is that I think they would know if you were reserved from last year. Maybe they have a note or comment. I think they would know. However, I think it's all right to mention to them that you have applied to Chevening and you were one of the reserved applicants, and you are here again, you applied again, and you still believe that this opportunity meant to you, and you deserve this, and you are here. I think this shows how resistance and how you want this scholarship, and you didn't give up from the very first try or attempt that you were reserved. So I think it's okay to share it, and it might be a really good one. It depends on how you share it, to not blame them, of course. If you want to blame them, no, this is not good, good thing to say, but just to show your resistance, and yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I completely agree. Yeah, absolutely. I just checked that also on the chat there is some question. But here we have
Maya, I have a question. I have been waiting, but you probably thought that it was my first question, but it was my second question. Can I ask my question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, please. I thought you
Great,
left it.
No, thank you. My question is about the why the UK question. I chose 3 universities as we all did, but I got the unconditional offer from my first choice. So in this case, I would like to just answer the question and just explain why I chose my first course and I would like to take that one. Should I also talk about the other ones, or is it enough just to talk about the one that I really want to get into?
Else, do you want to answer?
She said she has unconditional offer from the first university, but she wants the other university.
No. If she is focused on about this first university that she wants, or that she needs to also mention the other universities during the
I
interview stage.
the voice is not clear. Can you repeat?
Yeah, the candidate has already gotten her unconditional offer from the university that she really wants to go and study. And she asking if she has to focus about only this university that she has unconditional offer, or does she need to talk about two other as well during the interview stage?
You can mention other university by connected this university and these courses with the career plan. So by this way, you can mention everything that you are interested in this university and connected with your career plan. This is, I think, it's a good way to mention everything that you wanted for the university. From my experience, when they asked me about the university, they asked me just, you want this university, you want to change this university? I said no. And they moved to the career plan. They did not ask me about anything that related to the university. But during the career plan, I mentioned everything that related to the courses and the university in the career plan. This is from my experience.
Thank you, Yala. I see your hands. Please go ahead.
Yes, regarding if we need to talk about the first choice and the second and third, I remember during also my preparation and during the mock interviews, they recommended us to focus on the first choice. I mean, it's not wrong to talk about the second, also the third. It's not wrong. However, they recommended us to focus on the first one. They want to know why we put this university our first choice, like why we have chosen this over the second and the third. As we know, like we have limited time, so we don't have much time to talk about the whole universities, unless let's say the master is a bit, it's the same, let's say the same university but different master, or I don't remember, like if there is something different, then you can highlight it. Like I put the second choice because of 1, 2, 3. But if it's connected and related, you don't have to talk about also the second and the third. This is my experience. Over.
Yeah. Also, my experience was different. I will just add mine as well. I have mentioned all of the three universities that I wanted to study. And yesterday I mentioned that I changed my third university just because of the course does not exist anymore in a year that I wanted to study. And I had enough time. And I said, like, okay, I have chosen three universities and I mentioned X, Y, and Z. And then I was like, okay, my first choice is this and this because of that. But I have not went to the deeply. And they even did not ask me any follow-up question. It's different experience again. And I recommend you to choose how you feel comfortable. And I agree with Yala because when I was also applicant, people also advised me, the alumni, to focus about the first choice that I had mentioned in application.
Thank you, guys. It was very helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome. Ivan and A, we have two more questions and we will finish our session. So, Ivan, go ahead, please. I think you have another question.
Yeah, thanks, Maya, again. Yeah, can you elaborate a little more about the question, like what happened if you don't win Chevening? Yeah, what is the best way to answer that question? No, they want that I show that I have another options of a scholarship because my final objective is to study in the UK, or I need to show that my unique because it's my dream scholarship is only Chevening, and I don't want anymore only Chevening.
Thank you for the question. As I know, Dima already left. Me and Yaila, we are here. I will start. Yaila, you can also share your experience and point of view. So, I think that as far as we know, Chevening are looking for the future leaders who has a plan, and you have to show on the interview. It's my personal point of view. Again, you have to show on the interview that you are a leader. You are also think further, and if there gonna be a rejection, you have a plan B, which is maybe to reapplying for Chevening. Just show them that you already are look at the risks and you are familiar of the outcomes. Either it's gonna be a positive or a negative. You are ready for that, and you will take the outcomes that it will come. So show them your dedication as well as about Chevening. But if you have some plan B, which is applying for different scholarship, I think I don't see any problem to mention on the interview as far as you showing that you are ready for both outcomes as a leader and you have a plan for move on after the answer coming or result coming to you.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's like a have another plan if Chevening don't if I don't win Chevening. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Yaila has different point of view. Maybe you can hear both.
At all, actually, I agree with you 100%. The same answer. No further comment. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very
Um,
much.
okay, good. And we left only one person, A. Your hand is raised, and if you have a question, we are ready to answer.
Yeah, hi. Thank you everyone for this session. My question is like, this is the second time I entered the interview. Like I remember one question last year is what is the challenges that you may face in UK and how you can overcome it? I mentioned the culture, or the weather, but like I don't know if it is the best answer or the ideal answer they wait for. And I want to ask the Cheveners or scholars what are the challenges they face in UK and how they can overcome it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yaila, go ahead this time.
Yeah. Oh my God, this question is a tricky question. So play it smart. Answer the weather. The weather, the food, maybe, but focus on the weather, especially if you came from very warm country such as like Middle East, Africa, North Africa. You could have very like they would relate. Um, and maybe the food also, if yeah, of course if the cuisine of your country is wide, diverse and everything, you could also share this challenge. um, but I'm not like personally, I don't think like when we said the culture is a challenge, I don't recommend this. Is I think it's how can I say, it's opportunity to learn and just to be familiar with different culture and to be involved, and it's not a challenge. As yeah, I think it's more opportunity than a challenge. Yeah, this is what I have actually prepared for my answer, but they didn't ask me this question. I don't know. What's your experience, Maya?
Yeah, I completely agree about the culture. I've got this question on the interview stage, and I mentioned the weather. But when I'm talking about the challenge, I also end it up in a positive way. I said, like, I know that I might have a challenge to be like in the country that every day is raining, but I'm getting ready for getting ready to bring an umbrella, bring the rainy coat. So the ending of the question formulation was very positive, even though that I was familiar of the challenges. And I also mentioned the second challenge, which was quite true when I studied in the UK, which is like I mentioned that I might have a academical challenges while the UK academic system are different than ours, mine, that where I graduated my bachelor and first master. And I said I'm already familiar. Every day I connecting to the course leader of the program. She already shared some materials that I needed to know before I attend the course. I also watched the videos how the international students handle it to being studying in the UK, and also like I mentioned that it might be a problem, but I show up the problem solving kind of structured a structured answer. So they were like, oh, you are already ready to go and study. At the end, when I mentioned about the academical challenge and about the resources, they were like, wow, you are ready to go and study. So yeah, it was my answer. I've got this question and I prepared before about it. Yeah, I think it's come to end our second session. And we will meet each other 9th of March. There gonna be a third session for you guys, and I will just turn off the recording.